Today I just wanted to make a quick video showing you the different types of spiked jewelry that I have for my stretched septum.
That sounds rad.
As always, there will be timestamps below so you can skip to the part you want to look at, because first I thought I'd share some info about my stretching process for those who have been following that. All the pieces I'm going to show today are in the size 6mm or a 2 gauge, which was my original goal size. That's why I kind of ordered jewelry for that size while I was stretching. But after trying on a couple of pieces, I found out that I didn't really like that big of a size on me. I did kind of like the size for my nose, but the jewelry kind of ended up not looking the way I wanted it to.
Oh.
I found out that because I prefer sort of the shorter length, having it at a 6mm just made them look too thick for that kind of length. And that's definitely just my personal preference. I just kind of wanted a very specific look, and I feel that with the short length, the thicker jewelry ended up looking kind of droplet shaped on each side and not like a long bar. So to get the look that I wanted, I did have to size down a bit, and especially after I found out that with the 4mm I was able to wear clickers or rings in my second hole at the same time without the jewelry interfering with each other.
Oh!
And I just really love this combo, so I ended up sizing down to a 4mm or 6 gauge, which is what I have now. So I do have past me again to showcase the pieces that I wanted to show today. Because I did end up with 4 different types of septum spikes at that size, so I thought I'd just share them with you anyways, since we're here. And then I'll do another septum spike video when I've gotten more of a collection for the size that I am at now.
Good things are coming. Good things.
So let's just start with the first piece.
Get on with it, dumb shit!
You might have seen that already. I think I bought this a really long time ago, like when I first stretched my very first septum piercing, not the second one. And it is a clear glass septum spike that has a layer of gold glitter spread throughout the middle.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
So it looks a bit different depending on the angle that you look at it. I would have preferred it if the glitter was spread all throughout the spike, but I'm not sure how they make these, so that might be a difficult thing. But if you position it right, it does kind of look like it's all through the spike anyways. I think this was my favorite piece of them all, just because it's both kind of subtle with the clear glass, but at the same time kind of fancy with the glitter. And I loved pairing this with gold glitter makeup as well, which I think I used in my previous video. At around the same time, I ordered the green spike that I'm wearing right now. I used both steel tunnels and short glass bars while stretching, so I just wanted to try a spike during that process just to see what it would look like. So I just bought a random size at the 4mm, and this one was called Emerald.
Made of green ivory or some shit.
But it's really just a dark green colored glass. I really loved the color of this one, which is why I decided to get it at my goal size as well. So I repurchased it in the 6mm. However, I didn't like that one as much as I did with the smaller one. And that's because of the colored glass. Obviously, the thicker one doesn't let as much light through it, so it ended up looking quite dark, almost black sometimes, at least in indoor lighting. And I think it was with this piece that I noticed that I didn't quite like the shape that it gave me. I feel like because of the thickness that it had to have been at least a little bit longer to kind of make it look like a proper spike, or at least have been tapered a lot more from the middle out instead of just at the ends. So as much as I liked the green color with the 4mm, I felt like it was kind of too dark and short in the 6mm. The third piece I bought is also glass, I think, or maybe stone, I'm not really sure, but it's the cat eye style, almost like a pearlescent type of glass or stone. Seeing as I didn't like the really dark green spike on myself, I decided to try a white spike. So this is the white cat's eye. And even though I liked the color of this and the really pretty shine it has to it, it was just kind of the same with the green spike, that I thought it looked a bit too short for how thick it was. Definitely would have preferred this to be some millimeters longer. Especially with this one, I felt like it gave me the droplet shape on each side. which I didn't really like. So it either had to be longer, I think, or just thinner for me to like it.
Great.
But that's just because of the size and the length I chose, so really that's on me and not really anything to do with the actual spike. The last spike I have is in stone, and I found a really beautiful Labradorite spike on Etsy. It was quite pricey. I was skeptical because I know ordering stone stuff online can be a bit risky. What you see is not necessarily what you get, and I feel like some sellers use very high quality stones in their photos but ship out very low quality stones and even fake stones sometimes.
Tea?
But I decided to try it because I really liked how it looked in the pictures.
Well, good luck.
But when I received it, of course it looked nothing like the picture.
I'm a piece of shit. I suck.
However, it did still have a nice shine to it, and I did like sort of the color of it. It did look okay.
It was okay.
It was okay?
As a Labradorite spike. But the bigger letdown was that I asked the seller how long the spike was, and he said I think 38 millimeters, but when I received it and measured it, it was like 43, I think.
You lied to me!
So it ended up being way too long for what I liked. So I think this one was just very overpowering for my face. So because of the difference in length and the photos, I did end up doing like a PayPal claim on this. So I did get my money back, which is good because it was really expensive.
$4,000 for a beer mug? That's ridiculous.
So that was a bit of a shame. But yeah, I thought it was way too big for my face, and also it was much brighter than I thought it would be. It was very light in color compared to the dark photos. So I definitely would not have worn this at all, sadly.
Forever. Pain. Forever.
I also had the steel tunnel, and I found out that the 4mm spike actually fit sort of perfectly through that.
I am a genius!
So that's maybe also an option, at least if you can find some shorter length steel tunnels. Of course it does slip and slide through the tunnel, so you do have to fasten it some way. Because my tunnel was on the longer length, I felt it would look kind of weird with two large O-rings on either end, because they were kind of out there in the middle and very visible. So one day I just tested out with some small colored elastics, and I thought that looked kind of cool.
Very stylish, very aggressive, very, very Miyamoto.
Right. That's what I was going for.
I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but yeah, it was fun to try on, and it might be an option for you to wear smaller spikes at a larger gauge. And besides from the shady Etsy seller, all the other spikes are from the same seller on eBay. And I'll definitely link him below so you can check him out if you want to get some spikes. He's one of the very few sellers I've seen that lets you choose the exact length that you want. That goes all the way down to 30mm. But those were all the spikes I had for my 6mm septum, because I quickly found out that I wanted to size down a bit. So I didn't exactly have a huge collection, luckily. I don't know if that is money wasted or money saved. Kind of both. But yeah.
That's my life.
You live and learn and just have to try and find the things that suit you the most. So I'm much more happy with the size that I am at now, and will definitely do a video with smaller spikes in the future.
Good things are coming.
I guess I'll just have to suffer until then.
So subscribe if you aren't already so you don't miss out on my new videos. As always, a huge thank you to my one OG patron, Elliot. And then I hope to see you in my next one. Vi ses.